I'd like to start off by just thanking you for allowing me the privilege of addressing you tonight. What a great and momentous occasion. The Persian PAC is going to be an important role in years to come, and I want to encourage you all to join if you haven't joined already, because it's very, very important. Many of you may have heard of me, maybe you haven't. I was elected to the State Assembly of California last November. In December, I was sworn into office, and in January, I took on the Islamic Republic of Iran. And we set forth with a bill, AB 221, which calls on our retirement systems. That's both the public employees' retirement and the teachers' public retirement, to divest all their funds from Iran. This is just a little description of what happens. We pay our taxes to California. Our California public employees, through their pensions, invest in foreign-owned companies who are doing business in Iran, propping up that regime. And later that leads to Hezbollah terrorism that we all know that they support. So I think it's important for you to know that over 12 years, the U.S. government has been placing sanctions on the Islamic Republic of Iran. And for 12 years, we all thought things were being done. I was shocked and disappointed to learn that our public employees were funding this outlaw regime. So I'm pleased to report that our governor, I think we all understand money is the mother's milk of terrorism, and I'm pleased to report that our governor last year in December signed this bill into law. And right now we're in the first phase of the bill. Every quarter for the first year, all these companies have to report back to the legislature and let us know where they stand as far as divestment. But by the end of this year, all $24 billion will be removed from these companies. We didn't set out to go after every company because that would have been really daunting. There's over 300 companies doing business in Iran. Some of them are doing agricultural products like pistachios and items like that. We tried to target the lion's share. Roughly, there are about 30 companies that are involved in the energy sector, the defense sector, and also directly connected to terrorism. Those are the companies that we targeted with this bill. And before I go any further, I want to say a special thanks to one of my colleagues, Chuck DeVore. Chuck, could you stand up for a quick second? Chuck was one of the co-authors on this bill, and without his help and the help of many of my colleagues, it wouldn't be law today, so I want to thank him. Also, this was the very first divestment bill in the United States. Nobody had done it before, and we all thought after 12 years of these sanctions that they were actually being done. The second thing is it started a national movement. Now there are 28 states who are following suit. We've got 3 more coming online. Maryland's coming online, Texas is coming online, and I believe Oregon's coming online. So this is a devastating blow to the Islamic Republic of Iran. Our current strategy, that's what we did last year, but our work's not done. I went back and I was looking at other pension programs that are publicly held here in California, and I was dismayed to find out that our University of California, the UC system, has $2 billion tied up in foreign-owned companies doing business. And we went through the process. At each and every juncture, I have to present these bills or these resolutions in committee, and then they're debated, and then they're voted on, and they move to the next committee, and eventually to the floor of the Assembly, then to the floor of the Senate, and then to the governor's desk. In this next phase, when we do this resolution and we work with the cities and counties, I'm going to need your help again, because I'm going to need you to write letters, send emails, fax, and make phone calls to my colleagues at key times. When push comes to shove, frequently, those so-called friends will get up in the middle of a committee hearing, walk to the bathroom, and never vote. And the only way we get out of committee is if we get the majority yes votes. So when somebody doesn't vote, it's the same as a no vote. And I've got to tell you, I met with a lot of my colleagues who said they were going to vote yes, and then they got up and walked out of the room without ever casting a vote. Only through your pressure in you shining the light on these. There's an old adage, when a politician feels a flame, he sees the light. You need to be that flame. You know, I think that you all understand the importance of divestment. I think that everybody here wouldn't be here if they didn't understand how crucial it is that we stop this madman running Iran. And this is the best way to win that battle without ever firing a shot. And that's why I'm so proud to stand before you, because I know that you had to live through it, and that you came here because you had no other choice, and that you've put your arms around the United States, and you've worked hard in our culture, and you've assimilated, but it's time to take this one step further. The other thing I wanted to share with you is this fight now, since we're out in 28 states, by the end of the year, I will have talked with most every state that's out there. We will have divested from every city and county that's willing to do it, and we have gone after the UC system. There's really not much more we can do on the state level. The next phase will be going after it on a federal level. Now, we have got a lot of good friends who have helped on the federal level. Certainly Dana Rohrabacher is one of them. Brad Sherman, I don't know if Brad's here or not, but Brad signed on to a letter. Brad, are you here? Oh, well, I'll wait, and then I'll say something nice about him when he gets here. But, you know, we've got to cut off all trade with that rogue regime, and we have to divest all public funds. And more importantly, and this is where the federal government comes in hand, becomes important. 2 years ago, this month, the Dutch bank had violated the sanctions, and the Bush administration confiscated $70 million of their money in the United States. That's the only company I'm aware of where the sanctions were actually executed on that company. We've got to have congressmen in Congress who understand that these sanctions are meaningless unless they use the teeth of the bill to confiscate those assets. So I want to make sure that you were aware of that. There's an old adage that I always say to people: if a man promises you the world tomorrow, ask him what he did yesterday. Time and time again, people have come before you, either in a small meeting or in a group, and they've said, I promised this, I promised that. But you have to ask them, what did they do yesterday? Did they just come to the movement? Are they just saying these things because they want your support? Or do they actually believe them? And you have to ask, what can one man do? I got elected in November. I was sworn in December. And in January, I set out to move that money out of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And with friends... I think we have to ask ourselves, what do we expect from our local congressmen? Are we setting the bar too low? Are we not saying to them that we expect change, we support you, and we mean it? We want that change. We want to build on the success of California. Here we are on the forefronts again. In 1986, we set out to divest from South Africa over apartheid, and as you all know, apartheid's not with us today, and California led the way. I want to tell you that I will continue to work tirelessly towards this goal because I believe it's a very, very important goal. And I want to also ask for your help. I've opened up an exploratory committee to run for Congress. My congressman's retiring. And I want to be your champion in Congress.
I noted that you mentioned win battle without firing a shot. I'm not quite sure what is the battle that is going to be won. Is that the battle seems to me is to force the Islamic regime of Iran to suspend its atomic activities. And again, it seems to me that if that is accepted by the regime of Iran, then this regime, this dictatorship, is welcome to the world community. What is your take on this, and where is the place of the human rights in Iran, the human rights violation in this, in all these talks and negotiation or lack of negotiation, applying force or making deals with this regime? I know that there is only one condition, and I don't see where the human rights in Iran fits into all of these.
Well, I think that first thing we have to understand is the quest for nuclear weapons outweighs everything else at this point, because it threatens the world peace. It threatens everything in this world. That's the first phase. The second phase is the plight of all humans to be free, and the plight of people who have been oppressed. Certainly, when we see a tow company show up in our neighborhood, we think somebody's car is broken down. But we know if that happens in Tehran, someone's going to be hanged. And I pledge to you, based on my past experience, that I will continue the fight until the Islamic Republic of Iran is struck down and a new republic of freedom resides in Iran.
Sign of history of 5,000 or 7,000 years in Iran. It's my pleasure to present this to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm deeply honored. And I plan to work hard to earn this year and years to come. Thank you. On behalf of the great state of California and the State Assembly, I'd like to recognize you for your commitment to your community and to our state. Thank you so much.
I'd like to present this from Persian PAC to you, and thanks for all.
Thank you so much for this. I don't know what to have to say, but I'll say thank you. خیلی ممنونم، واقعا خیلی متشکرم از اینکه این برای من خیلی سورپرایز این حالت شوک پیدا کرد. به هر صورت یه قطره‌ای هستم از دریا. انقدر کسانی هستن که خدمت میکنن به جامعه که من پیش اونا ناچیزم.
On behalf of the great state of California and the State Assembly, I present you this certificate in appreciation for all you've done for our community.
Also from Persian PAC, I thank you very much for your outstanding help to Iranian community.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the state of California and the State Assembly, I want to present this certificate recognizing you for all you've done for our community. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. I say thank you in Persian. بیل 221 یه قدم بزرگی بود که ما تونستیم انجام بدیم با کمک دوستان غیر ایرانی. ولی این قدم اول بود، همونجوری که جول هم بهش اشاره کرد. کاری بود که هم برای سیاست آمریکا موثر بود، هم اثر گذاشت برای کمک به جنبش خودمون. ما تونستیم این کارو بکنیم. Yes, we can make a difference.